Did you know a black man may have been the first person to reach the North Pole? His name was Matthew Henson, and for decades, his extraordinary contribution to Arctic exploration was intentionally minimized, his achievement attributed solely to his white superior, Robert E. Peary. This is the story of a life of adventure, a history of injustice, and the long overdue recognition of a true American hero. Matthew Alexander Henson was born on August 8, 1866, in Nanjemoy, Maryland. His early life was marked by hardship. Often at a young age, he had to fend for himself. He found work as a cabin boy on a ship, an experience that would shape the rest of his life. Under the tutelage of Captain Charles, Henson learned valuable skills in seamanship, navigation, and survival. It was a harsh but invaluable education. These were skills that few others, including Peary, whom he was to meet later, possessed in totality. This early training set him apart, laying the foundation for his future exploits. Henson's early voyages instilled in him a deep love for the sea and a thirst for adventure. He became proficient in reading maps, navigating by the stars, and handling the vessel. He wasn't just a sailor, he was becoming a skilled navigator, a hunter, a mechanic, and a resourceful field worker, all before he ever set foot in the Arctic. Fate intervened when Henson met Robert E. Peary in a Washington, D.C. clothing store where Henson worked. Peary, a U.S. Navy civil engineer with Arctic ambitions, recognized Henson's potential. He hired the young man as his valet, but quickly realized that Henson was far more valuable than just a personal assistant. He was an expert in so many areas of practical skills. Peary saw in Henson the strength, resilience, and adaptability that he needed for his ambitious expeditions. Thus began a decades-long partnership that would take them to the farthest reaches of the globe. The two men embarked on numerous Arctic expeditions together, learning the harsh realities of the polar environment. Henson distinguished himself through his incredible skills. He mastered dog sledding, becoming an expert driver and handler. He learned to hunt for food in the barren Arctic landscape, providing sustenance for the team. He built snow shelters that provided crucial protection from the elements. He was the ultimate Arctic survivalist. What set Henson apart was his ability to learn from and connect with the Inuit people. He embraced their knowledge of the Arctic, learned their language, and adopted their survival techniques. He understood that their expertise was essential for success in this unforgiving environment. While Peary remained somewhat aloof, Henson formed genuine bonds with the Inuit, earning their respect and trust. The culmination of their years of preparation came in 1909 with the North Pole expedition. Henson was an indispensable member of the team. He scouted routes, maintained equipment, and led the way across the treacherous ice. On April 6, 1909, Peary, Henson, and 4 Inuit companions reached what they believed to be the North Pole. While Peary is often credited with being the first to reach the pole, some accounts suggest that Henson and the Inuit guides were actually the first to arrive in the immediate vicinity. Regardless, Henson's contribution to the expedition was undeniable. He was the backbone of the operation, the man who kept the team moving forward. So why isn't Matthew Henson a household name? The answer lies in the racial prejudices of the early 20th century. In an era of segregation and discrimination, the idea of a black man being recognized as a great explorer was simply unacceptable to many. Peary, a white man, received the lion's share of the credit, while Henson's role was downplayed and minimized. He was often portrayed as Peary's assistant, rather than as a skilled explorer in his own right. The institutions of the time, from newspapers to museums to schools, perpetuated this narrative, reinforcing the racial hierarchy. Henson's achievements were routinely softened or overshadowed in books, museum narratives, and school materials. His own account of the expedition, published in 1912, titled A Negro Explorer at the North Pole, offered a first-hand perspective on his accomplishments and the challenges he faced as a black man in a white-dominated field. Yet, the book was largely ignored by the mainstream media. But the truth cannot be suppressed forever. In recent decades, There has been a growing effort to recognize and celebrate Matthew Henson's contributions to Arctic exploration. Historians and scholars have re-examined the evidence, uncovering the extent of Henson's skills and the injustice of his erasure from history. In 1944, Henson received the Explorers Club Medal, a belated recognition of his achievements. In 1948, he was elected to the Explorers Club. Even these accolades came late in life. It wasn't until after his death in 1955 that Henson began to receive the full public recognition he deserved. In 1988, Henson and his wife were reinterred at Arlington National Cemetery, a final resting place befitting a national hero. In 2000, Matthew Henson was awarded the Congressional Gold Medal posthumously, the highest civilian honor bestowed by the United States. The story of Matthew Henson is a powerful reminder of the importance of recognizing and celebrating the contributions of all people, regardless of their race or background. It is a story of perseverance, resilience, and the triumph of truth over prejudice. Henson's legacy extends far beyond the North Pole. He is an inspiration to Black explorers and adventurers around the world. He challenges the myth that major exploration was solely the work of white elite men. His story also highlights the importance of indigenous knowledge and the contributions of Inuit communities to Arctic exploration. Henson's story connects to the broader pattern of underrecorded Black contributions across continents. It is a story that resonates in modern Africa, where there are ongoing efforts to decolonize school curricula and widen the definition of Black heroism. Henson can be paired with African and African-descended figures who were similarly minimized, such as Mansa Musa, Queen Zinga, Queen Nani, and Gaspar Yanga. Together, they show that Black history includes empire, resistance, exploration, statecraft, and scientific labor, not only slavery and oppression. Matthew Henson's life reminds us that history is not a fixed narrative but a constantly evolving story, one that must be continually re-examined and retold to ensure that all voices are heard and all achievements are recognized. Matthew Henson reached the North Pole in 1909, but history nearly left him there. His story serves as a powerful reminder that the pursuit of knowledge and exploration should be open to all, and that history should be a reflection of the contributions of all humanity.